Champions League and Europa League semi-finals.
Sorry, there's one more as
Oh,
well there.
sorry, George.
The UCL,
The UCL.
UEFA Conference League.
Yep, all of you in the semi-finals. I'm going to kick off with Champions League.
Well, yeah, only one of them really matters, doesn't it?
Well, Europa League because
UCL.
whoever wins can get into Champions League.
But, yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, when we played in Europa League and you got to the semis, we had Napoli, Villarreal, Atletico Madrid, proper teams, proper European giants that could beat anyone on their day. They're playing.
Bit like you
like
didn't you come
Bodo
up against a
Glimt.
team in the final?
Well,
Who
we
did you
played.
come up against in the final that
We
stuffed you
played this.
4-1?
We played the West London Cup.
European giant. Yeah, it was a European giant.
Stadium is
Yeah.
quite similar to.
You said it, mate. You said it. European giant.
Is it Bodo Glimt? I think their stadium and Stamford Bridge are quite similar. But
Proper stadium.
That's who Chelsea have got.
Not empty cereal bowls.
That's who Spurs have got in the semis, right? And I think I've read a stat that you can fit this little village in Norway where they play out of. I might have this wrong. The whole population of that town fits in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
No way. That's class.
I mean,
I saw the stadium. The stadium's brilliant.
And I'll tell you what, if Spurs or United don't win it comfortably at a canter, it's going to be fucking embarrassing for all of us. The whole English game, honestly.
But
and I really,
before I move on,
it irks me that one of them's going to win and they're going to enlarge it and they're going to have
and they get Champions League when they're so bad and they don't deserve it.
Shit, they don't fucking deserve it.
I'm just going to point out, right? You can slam United and what you want, but Arsenal had their best moment in God knows how long. They got to a semi-final Champions League, right? Amazing achievement. It's still, a day later, United win in the Europa League, and that's the biggest news. Just took Arsenal straight off.
Your world
right?
it is, but
cares. And it's just all about United. And we've got
that's just not true.
Bilbao.
That's so
it may be on MUF TV or whatever, but it's not bigger news than Arsenal putting out Madrid.
No, we just stole the back pages. Harry Maguire.
Who had higher viewing figures out of Arsenal, Real Madrid, and United? Fucking whoever you played, United versus shit cunt nobody FC.
Lyon
who have more Champions Leagues than you.
Of
Pony, mate, come on.
Anyway,
Lacazette up top.
He was on the
Arsenal
bench.
legend.
He couldn't even make it onto the team. I mean, that's how brilliant it was. And Harry Maguire
Pierce's point is right. The Europa League, since this new formation of the Champions League, Conference League, Europa League, it's rubbish compared to what it was.
Yeah. It's not as good as it was.
It's the Conference League. But you will have a trophy parade. And if I have to go to North London Derby next season and hear Tottenham fans unironically singing Champions of Europe, I'm done with football. See you later.
They won't have a trophy parade for a Europa League.
Mate, Spurs will. United.
Spurs will. Yeah, United won't.
United better not.
I will be back.
They won't.
When they inevitably both get to the final, I will be backing United heavily.
Yeah, me too.
I'll send you one of my shirts, Pierce. You can bang them on.
I'll wear it.
The lucky shirt.
For good voodoo.
The lucky shirt. I'm not going near the lucky shirt.
We haven't seen that for a while. Definitely.
Yeah.
But Arsenal, PSG.
That's why we've been losing.
Another beauty. Can you do it again?
It's a real tournament, isn't it? Like, jokes aside, it's a real tournament.
Yeah, it's proper. It's proper. Some proper ties, proper clubs. Like, I mean, I still watch the Declan Rice free kicks from 3 weeks ago, like a couple of times a day. And do you know what? This is actually a true story. I was at work today, and one of my best friends in the world sent me a picture of a pregnancy test and went, "Mrs. is fucking pregnant again," right? He said he's been wrapping up. They've got a kid, but they've been wrapping up for the last 2 years. And he said he got pissed out his head the night we beat Real Madrid when Declan Rice scored those free kicks, and he pumped his bird bareback and got her up the gut.
Baby dead.
He texts me going, Declan fucking Rice making really, really horny. He's ruined my life. That's
Baby Declan,
yeah. He said,
and if it's a boy, he'll name him Declan.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, he's going to have to, isn't he?
Yeah.
Rice, baby.
And I know you mentioned it before, PSG, they've come alive in the knockout stages, right?
Yeah, I know. I know I went on a bit of a rant about this the other day, but I think people need to fucking chill out sucking them off. And I know this is going to bite me in the arse and they'll probably roll us over. I actually had a dream last night that they beat us 3-1, so I need to put that bet on. But everybody's going a bit mental over PSG. Like, they were quite shit in the group stages. We beat them comfortably. So they had
1-0.
2-0. And they had a good game in the last 16 and the quarters. So that's when they've been good over last 16 and quarters, and everyone's going.
Yeah, but look, Pierce, they were a brand new team, and they've improved massively since. Like against City, you saw it as well. They were good.
Past them.
I'm not being funny, but
they're gettable. But they're a good team.
But do you know what I mean? Like, all the pundits are going, PSG, they are the team of the tournament. I think
it's just because they're so good to watch.
2 goals in the whole fucking Champions League. Like,
yeah, but it's just because they're so good to watch. You aren't as good to watch as PSG. Like, that's a fact.
PSG is the best team to watch in Europe at the moment. Like,
yeah, but it's like Spurs. Spurs are great going forward and then concede loads of goals. People don't go Spurs.
They're not like Spurs. Spurs are sat like 16th in the Premier League and they've lost 18 games.
Right? It's taken my daughter 18 years to have that many birthdays compared to Spurs having that many defeats in 8 months. That's
it's good going.
Spurs,
you can't compare Spurs. Compare Spurs to my 5-a-side team.
No, but you get my point, didn't you? About like,
I get your point.
I get your point, and I actually think Arsenal can beat them.
We definitely can. Whether we will or not, I don't know. Because I think I don't know. There's just to be honest, there's a bit of like voodoo for both teams. Because PSG have never won the Champions League. We've never won the Champions League. It's in touching distance. We haven't been in the semis in 16 years, and PSG have flopped in the Champions League a lot when they had all these big names they were signing, and they've kind of done something similar to Arsenal, sort of gone back to restructure, promote some youngsters, get a bit of a team going, a bit more of a project. And
you say that, but their forward is 150 million, right?
Well, we've got a £100 million centre midfielder, but it's not the same as signing Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at the players that they've got there, and they're just also they didn't spend that much on Dembele, but it's just the way they play, the skill.
142 million euros.
They break really quickly.
They didn't spend that on
really
Dembele.
Exciting.
Yeah, they did.
PSG spent 142 million on Dembele. Are you sure?
Yes, absolutely.
I think Barca did. I don't think PSG did. But anyway, point aside, transfer fee aside. It's the way they play, and like the front Doué, Dembele, Barcola, Cravata. I can never say his name. They're just so good to watch, which is why they're getting hyped up because people like watching them.
No, I know. I do get the point. I just think I'm just trying to convince myself that they're beatable and we can get them.
You can.
Defensively they're gettable.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I think there'll be goals in it, and we're really solid defensively. So I'm hoping that if we can basically do what we did against Real Madrid at their place, go through periods of soaking it up a bit.
I'm gonna ask
chances.
George, I think you're right with
if on the weekend,
full knowledge,
Liverpool beat Tottenham, league title is officially done.
It's been done.
Our head's gonna be down.
Why have you brought it back to that?
Our head's gonna be down for the Champions League.
No.
Because it's already done.
Not even a bit. I don't think they'll even. You know what I mean?
Let me ask a better question.
Tomorrow. Like, no one gives a fuck. You might as well have your play tomorrow morning.
Pierce, would you take winning the Champions League if it meant Spurs winning Europa?
I would.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
It belittles their achievement.
At that point, I mean, that's like splitting up with a girl from 10 years ago. She's had 16 boyfriends since, and then gets engaged, and you burst into tears. Like, who gives a fuck? Like,
I'm thinking
Champions League is
far more elite. Champions League far more elite than Europa, right?
Tell me about this builder.
That's it. Yeah.
It's going back to what Pierce said. If they sing "We're champions of Europe," you'd be like, "Well, you're not."
Yeah, but
they wouldn't dare. If it came to that, then
yeah, if Arsenal didn't win and Spurs won that, then they would sing it.
Yeah. Agree.
If we lose in the final and Spurs beat United in the final, then I might have a year off football. Yeah, it'd be fucking annoying.
But yeah, I mean, even fucking West Ham were singing Champions League Europe when they won the Conference League.
I know, but you know what? I'll give it to West Ham fans because I know it's tongue in cheek.
They're not your main rival.
They don't mean it. They're saying it because they know that's dumb. They're
laughing at
but so would
Spurs.
So Spurs fans would be saying it in tongue in cheek, especially to Arsenal fans. Like, it would just rattle.
You would get serious bods, like serious fans calling up TalkSport going, "We've won a European trophy before Arsenal." They would be.
They've already done that though. They've already won that trophy.
I mean, we won a European trophy in like.
I won the Cup Winners' Cup, yeah?
No one gives a
fuck. You know what I mean? Cup. Come on.
I tell you who does care. Alan Smith scored the best goal of his career in that game against Palmer. I think it was a good Palmer side as well. I remember watching it.
How old were you? 45 odd.
I don't know. Well,
here we go.
I'll let him think.
Thinking about having kids at that time.
While he's thinking about that, I am going to jump onto Conference League. Chelsea have got to win it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have to win it. The game the other night was abysmal, losing at home to whoever it was. I was there, but I couldn't tell you which team it was. I don't know who we've got in the next round, but obviously, yeah, we have to
That's how
anything
important
other than winning that. It's a terrible tournament.
How hard will you celebrate? Like, will you go out for the final? Will you be?
Okay, look, I'll go to the pub.
Final, right?
Yeah, I'll go to the pub, have a few beers, but look, I'm not going to be singing Champions League Euro, for example. I don't think any Chelsea fan
Where's the final being played? Like out the back of your window there, is in that little. Where is it getting played?
No, capacity is too big back there. I think it's smaller than the stadium.
Now, it'd be good for English football if there was a clean sweep, though.
That's true. That is true.
There's a real chance of a clean sweep, and that'd be quite an achievement, I think.
Don't pretend any of you want Arsenal to win the Champions League. I know you don't.
Oh God, I didn't really think about what that would. Yeah, I didn't.
No.
Any of you want that to happen.
I said it'd be good for English football, but I'd love Arsenal to get pummeled in the final. I'm not going to lie. Wait a second.
Just get them out now. Just my stress level is about to go through the roof.
Because I've been hurt so many times, I can't see us even getting to the final. I think we'll go out in the most brutal fashion possible in the semis, like penalties or something. That's what I see.
Yeah,
I'd like Inter to win it out of the teams remaining.
I would fucking hate to play Inter, to be honest, in the final.
Yeah.
That would be two defenses just.
It'll be like playing Atletico Madrid. It'll be ranked. Yeah, they'll win it 1-0, and it'll be a horrible game. Play Barcelona, and look, we might lose 4-3, but at least it will be a game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was thinking this the other day. I think the Real Madrid game and the way Real Madrid play almost suited you more than if you had to have played Atletico. And I know there's a load of controversy about how Atletico went out with the penalty, but I think in a funny way, you had a worse game against Atletico.
Right.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Like Simone, he's one of those guys you love to hate, right?
It would have been over 2 legs. It would have been 0-0 and then 1-0.
It'd have been horrible.
But it'd be good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.